Welcome back to another King Innovation video. Today we'll be talking about the 4 locating methods for the King DL Advanced Digital Cable, Wire, and Valve Locating System. The King DL locator is capable of locating buried conductors using 4 different modes: direct connect, broadcast, inductive clamp, and passive mode. The most common and often used mode is direct connect. To locate a specific zone in a multi-wire irrigation system, disconnect the zone wire you wish to locate at the controller. To locate the whole system, disconnect the common wire instead. For a 2-wire system, disconnect one of the wires to be located. Connect the red lead included with the King DL to the disconnected wire and plug the other end into the King DL transmitter. Insert the ground stake into the earth. If you know the approximate path of the buried wire, it is helpful to place the ground stake at a right angle to the wire being traced. Using the included ground stake is the preferred method of grounding the locator. Other common grounds can be used, but only as a last resort. Connect the black lead included with the King DL to the ground stake and plug the other end into the King DL transmitter. Power on the King DL transmitter. At this point, you can choose the type of signal that will be transmitted, a solid signal or beeping signal. On the transmitter, select Setup and then press either the up or down arrow until pattern shows. Press Select. Again, using the up or down arrow, toggle either solid or beep beep depending on your preference and then press Save. After saving your preference, press the back button to return to the home screen. To begin sending the signal from the transmitter, select Direct Clip-On and adjust the power level until OK appears on the screen. If OK does not appear, you may want to try moving your ground stake to a different location or dampening the area the ground stake is in. Power on the King DL receiver, select Clip-On Low F and press the Start button. The King DL locator has both low and high frequency direct connection capabilities. It is a good standard practice to begin locating in low frequency mode. If you are having difficulty locating the wire, you would then either adjust the position of the ground stake or switch to high frequency mode on both the transmitter and the receiver. When using the King DL locator, the transmitter and receiver must always be set to the same mode for correct operation. With the King DL receiver on and in clip-on low F mode, you can choose to locate in null or peak mode by pressing the F2 button, with null mode being the default. In null mode, the receiver will be silent with no numerical readout when it is directly above the wire. When to either side of the wire, the receiver will emit an audible signal and display a numerical value. Peak mode is just the opposite, emitting an audible signal and displaying a numerical value when over the wire. The signal and value will peak when directly over the wire. If the general area of the buried conductor is unknown, begin by sweeping in a circular pattern approximately 5 to 10 feet from the transmitter. Swing the receiver from side to side. As the receiver emits either a null or peak signal, follow along until the signal terminates. If the transmitter is connected to the common wire, multiple signals may be found and will need to be traced. As you are locating, it is helpful to use flags to mark the buried conductor's location. It is a good standard practice to set the sensitivity of the receiver to the middle of the scale when locating. This will help for locating changes in signal which could indicate nicks or breaks in wires and solenoids or decoders, depending on the irrigation system type. The included headphones can be used in noisy locations or in instances with a weak signal. Once locating is finished, remember to power down the transmitter prior to handling either of the leads. Caution should always be used as the King DL transmits high voltage signals through the leads. The King DL also has the capability to induce a signal onto wires with no direct connection. This is called broadcast mode. While not as strong or as reliable as direct connection mode, broadcast mode can be useful when access to cable is limited for quick scans. Place the King DL transmitter in the approximate location of the conductor to be located. Power up the King DL transmitter and select broadcast or clamp. The transmitter has an internal antenna which broadcasts an AC signal which is induced onto all buried metallic wires and pipes within the magnetic field. There is no need to use the ground stake or ground wire in broadcast mode. There is also no signal power adjustment in this mode. Irrigation solenoids will act as a signal damper and must be disconnected from the wire for a stronger transfer of signal. Power on the King DL receiver. Press one of the arrows until clamp broadcast is shown. Press Start. When in clamp broadcast mode, the King DL receiver will only locate in null signal mode. Due to the transmitter broadcasting a signal wirelessly, begin sweeping around the transmitter a minimum of 20 to 25 feet from it. Also, with the transmitter indiscriminately broadcasting the signal wirelessly, multiple metallic wires and/or pipes may have a signal induced onto them. It is best practice to locate and mark with flags until the signal runs to an endpoint. At this point, using the receiver to locate is the same as when in direct connection mode. The third mode of locating wires is by using the included induction clamp. The induction clamp method is similar to the broadcast method, but focuses the signal on a specific accessible wire. At the King DL transmitter, plug the induction clamp into the clamp port. Power up the King DL transmitter and select broadcast or clamp. Place the clamp around the wire to be located. The clamp must be placed between grounding points on each end of the cable for the clamp to work properly. Power on the King DL receiver, Press one of the arrows until clamp broadcast is shown. Press start. When in clamp broadcast mode, the KingDL receiver will only locate in null signal mode. Move away from the clamp and begin sweeping, looking for the null signal. Follow the signal, marking the wire with flags, to the signal endpoint. The KingDL is capable of locating 50 to 60 Hz AC buried cable using passive mode. Only the receiver is used in this mode and doesn't require the use of the transmitter. Power on the KingDL receiver and press one of the arrows until passive AC is shown. Press start. The receiver is now able to locate buried cables with 50 to 60 Hz AC current flowing through them. As with direct connection mode, the user can switch between null and peak signal mode. As a caution, do not rely on the 50 to 60 Hz passive mode as the sole method of locating power lines. This mode should only be used as a safety check. Always use the appropriate local service, such as 811, to have the utilities marked. To learn more information about the KingDL Advanced Digital Cable Wire and Valve Locating System or other King Innovation products, visit us online at kinginnovation.com. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.